Addinsoft is the publisher of ExcelStat, the most complete statistical add-on for Microsoft Excel, as well as for other data analysis and visualization software. From the food industry to life science, including marketing, finance, or the public sector, literally thousands of users have benefited from their incredible software. Thierry, CEO of Addinsoft, will walk you through the history of ExcelStat and demonstrate the capabilities of this powerful and flexible Excel data analysis add-on.
Thank you very much for the introduction. I'm going to switch right now and share my screen to do a presentation. And then I will do a demo of ExcelStat in Excel, and do not hesitate to send questions or messages so that I can adapt my presentation depending on what you're looking for. As this is the first time we are doing that conference, I do not know how much you know about ExcelStat or statistical analysis, which is of course not very far from what any Excel user would need, but this is I'm not really aware of how much you want to hear from me about the different subjects. So I'm sharing my screen. And switching to the PowerPoint presentation. It's just a short history of the company. The history of the company is very much related to Excel and its developments. So I will start with that and then tell a little bit about the different products we've developed and do a demonstration of ExcelStat, which is our main product. So I started developing ExcelStat at the very beginning in Excel 4 using the macro sheets. But I was still a student by then. And then I moved to I'm just checking that everything is running fine. Yes, I moved to my to a PhD, and this took me up to 2000, where I really started the company, Addinsoft, and I started working full time for Addinsoft in 2002. By then, ExcelStat was mainly VBA and then VBA and Delphi. And in 2005, we did a huge work rewriting everything so that all the computations were done in C++. Of course, Microsoft Visual Studio was used for the C++ developments on the Windows platform. We also have had a Mac version from the beginning, except of course with Excel 2008. In 2009, we introduced our rental licenses. That was the first time. So by then we were 3 people working full time. And we started hiring like a regular company in 2013. The first employee arrived. In 2017, we were 20 employees. There was a major addition to ExcelStat with the connection to R. We enable any user to run a statistical routine on the R platform through ExcelStat. In 2018, we released a cloud version, so meaning a version that runs in Excel Online. We did the acquisition of Miner3D, that's visualizer, 3D visualization software that connects to Microsoft Excel. We opened a branch in the USA in 2019. We also did a version for Google Sheets. And we are now in 2022, and we have grown the sales team, and we are about to release an API version of ExcelStat. So today, ExcelStat is really a very serious player in the area of statistical analysis. What's unique about it is how much it's connected to Excel. As you may imagine, in 1996, it was not obvious for scientists to use Excel. It had a very good reputation in some domains, but for scientists, it was many scientists were still skeptical about using Microsoft Excel. So we had to fight against that and make people understand that all the computations were depending on us and not on Excel, and that what we were doing was super reliable. And today we are really identified as one of the big players in the statistical sciences arena, and more and now more on the general analytical area. And I still, 20, almost 30 years after, I still believe that it was really a great thing to make it possible to analyze data, even with very complex methods. We also do very simple things, but even with very complex machine learning techniques, that it was a good choice to make it available from within Microsoft Excel. So as of today, we have more than 250 functions that can be accessed from the Excel ribbon. And we've had over 150,000 customers all around the globe. ExcelStat is very fast in terms of computations, thanks to relying on the C++ engine. And what's always been a strength for us is the customer support. That is very important for us. We also have developed Excel Optim. It's an optimization solution. So maybe some of you know the Excel solver. The problem with the Excel solver is it's now based on a pretty old technology. And we are using the technology from another company that is Local Solver, and it's really one of the two best optimization engine in the world. And I think Talia will tell you about this later this afternoon, but we've even found some cases where the Excel optimizer either does not find a solution, runs forever, while with Excel Optim, you get a result within a few seconds. And sometimes it gives you a solution, but it's not the optimal one. And Excel Optim is able to find a much better solution. So using Excel Solver as of today should be only advised for people with very simple optimization problems. We also have a partnership with Voice Software. ExcelStat has a Monte Carlo simulations add-on, but it's simple, and as soon as you need to do more intensive or more complex risk modeling, you should use Excel Risk. We've also developed ZenPlots. It's a scientific visualization software built on the idea that making different layers with different types of information. So imagine in Excel you want to do at the same time a surface map, heat map, and you want to display some dots on it. That's not possible with Excel. So, but it's possible with ZenPlot. And through thanks to the acquisition of Minor3D, we have also been able to make available 3D plot to Excel and ExcelStat users. I will show a little bit ExcelStat 3D plot. So what's very important for us is to keep ExcelStat as intuitive as possible. Of course, the idea is that people should feel really at home when using ExcelStat, because they know the Excel environment. And as was mentioned yesterday, Excel users are almost 1 billion on Earth, so that's a pretty large population. And ExcelStat can be applied in many industries. We have customers in almost all industries. ExcelStat is available in 10 languages. We recently added traditional and simplified Chinese and Korean. A lot of things can be automated, customized. We really pay a lot of attention to the UI and the user experience. And the price is really mild compared to traditional statistical software. So this is a few of our customers. As I said, it's all around the world. Almost all the food industry is using ExcelStat. A lot of consulting firms also, market research firms, banks, consulting groups, and a lot of universities and research labs. So I'm switching to Excel, and I obtained some stocks from Yahoo Finance using a little feature we have to load financial data. And to analyze these stocks, I've done two things. One thing I did is do a PCA. So I did it with ExcelStat. As you can see on my screen, ExcelStat is an add-on, is within the Excel menu, and you can see it here, and you see the ExcelStat ribbon. It's split in different groups depending on the types of methodologies you will need to use. So there are some things to prepare data, to describe data with simple statistics or more advanced statistics. We have built many nice little features to visualize data, to either avoid you from programming in VBA, things that would allow you to automate the creation of charts, or sometimes it's also things that are not possible to do with Excel except through complex programming. We have a lot of methods to analyze multivariate data, to do predictions through what's called in statistics modeling, and some machine learning techniques that are better known today, but that weren't that well known a few years ago. We have a lot of statistical tests. Some are even not available in other statistical software. As I said, we have some connections to R. So these are connections to different R packages. We have a tool to automate model predictions. And then we have many vertical applications. So here, to do that PCA, I used the feature that is just in there, principal components analysis. I applied it on the Standards and Poor's stocks, and the dates are from January 1st, 2020 till the end of 2021. So we have the COVID period within that period. And of course, as you can imagine, there has been a drop. But as you know, the Standards and Poor's 500 is a composite index, and each stock of the S&P 500 has a specific weight in the index. And PCA can be used to create an alternative index that will try to minimize the variance. So I did that PCA, and one of the outputs of PCA is a PCA map. And there you have all the different stocks displayed. And you can see that some are displayed together, meaning they varied in the same way, and that you can see that some are on the opposite. That means that they had an opposite variation. And you can see that some are almost isolated, so their behavior was not depending on the variations of the other. There is one feature I really like in Excel. It's the possibility to zoom. So even on a very complex chart like this one, you can zoom in and try to analyze data and get more information from the chart that is being displayed. Of course, I forgot to mention that one of the outputs, but it's a very early output of the PCA, is the correlation matrix. And here you have the correlation matrix. When it's displayed by ExcelStat, it's not colorful like this, but we have a feature here. If you click on the magic wand, that allows you to apply some color schemes, and you do not have to enter any information. It will automatically use the colors, and on a -1 scale, which is the case with correlations, or that could be on a 0-1, depending on what you are analyzing. And I have a case with 0-1 just below. So here you can see, I would say that here what's most interesting is the very low correlations. So those that are really not related, because this is some stocks that have an interesting behavior, as they are not linked to all the other ones. But as you can see, there are really some groups of stocks that are really highly related. But here I have ATVI, which is globally very different from the other stocks. So the very low ones are in blue color. If I go down, there is a very important for financial analysis. Of course, PCA is used in many different fields. It's the factor scores, and on the first factor is the linear combination of all the input variables. Here, the variables are the stocks. That will the first on the first factor is the one that minimizes the variance, the overall variance. So here it's an example where I highlighted using the 0-1 scale. It's squared cosines, and I can see which stocks are highly related to the first axis, here the second axis, and the method generates as many axes as you have input variables, or almost. So here I can see that ATVI is really different from the other ones, but highly represented on the third axis. So I'm going down to the factor scores. Oh no, sorry, it's on the other sheet. Sorry. So here I have the factor scores, and I have the coordinates of that factor. So that linear combination of the other variables, and I have it for each day of quotation. And here I've added the S&P 500 index. And I've displayed that on a map here. And you can see in blue color, so it's F1, our factor. and in orange the S&P index. And what you can see is that this artificial index is performing much worse than the S&P 500 during the initial phase of the COVID pandemic. But in the end, it appears to be performing better. So if that index would have been built before the COVID, if you had a long-term view, you would have had you would have been winning by choosing this index. So this is just an application of a general statistical method to a very specific case of stocks analysis. I will then show you, I was mentioning the 3D coordinates. So here I've represented with ExcelStat 3D plots it's a 3D representation on axes 1, 2, and 3. But this is maybe not the most interesting thing. Just realized. So I will represent, if we have some time to do it, the stocks themselves in 3 dimensions. You remember that circle I showed, the PCA map, that was in 2 dimensions on F1 and F2, and I can do a representation in 3 dimensions using 3D plots. So I select my data and go to visualizing data, and I click on 3D plot, and it should be opening in 3D plot. While it's loading, it should be loading. Maybe it's taking a while. I'm just going to the conference interface to make sure there is, to check if there is any question. Okay, I can see the questions. Python has an add-in to manipulate data. Okay, I'm going to stop the screen sharing. Don't know if, no, the data did not load, so I'm going to switch back. How do I stop the presentation? Oh, okay. So Python has an add-in to manipulate data coming from Excel spreadsheet, and it's free. Okay, that's possible, but that needs to use Python. You do not need to have any kind of programming skill to use ExcelStat. It's absolutely zero programming. The sheet I've presented, I'm gonna represent. It's really an Excel. It's a pure Excel chart. Everything is chart series. So let me go back to it. This is a pure Excel chart. So you can move things, and it's really you can change colors and use all the shape stuff to adapt it. That's really the case with any chart we display. I think there is one just below here on that sheet, and so it's a simplified version of the PCA map, and you can you can play with it and change the colors and remove some information as much as you want. It's really it's very seldom that we use static images. There are a few features where we use that, but it's very seldom.
Thank you, Thierry. I think that these are the questions I'm currently seeing in the chat. I'm guessing for anything else, people can also join you in your lounge room or leave some messages at your booth. I can see Talia has posted that there is a lounge session by Addinsoft at 2 p.m. if anybody's interested in finding out more. And yeah, thank you, Thierry.
Thank you very much.
No problem. We are now going to go into 1 hour break. Please feel free to go around the expo hall, go check out our networking features, and we will see you in about an hour with our next product demo by Lair. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
Bye.